Okay, everyone, let's get into the stock market charts. We're going to cover, I'm going to go through some of the indices and look at some stock ideas that I've been talking about the last couple weeks that have been extremely profitable. So let's get right into it. Leave me a thumbs up. Here we go. Triple Qs. All right, so we bounced off of what looked like support around 280.50. This is a line that I've had marked out. I also had this line right here marked out at 282.30 or 282.26 basically. Both of those, it's kind of a support zone basically, but in general we'll watch for whatever we get reactions around. As of right now we had the reaction right there, but that could have just been a whip, kind of a dip below this support line, so I'm going to leave them both up there. Top of the range right now I think is 293, so if we run up to there, that's the area where it should get rejected. I don't know if it's going to get up there, though. I think this might be about it, 288, kind of where we're at right now. I think might be about it for the bounce that we've just seen, and now we're going to continue the downside. That's just my read. SPY, SPY looks a little more bullish when I look at this. So here's the thing. We have the top of the zone right here at 350. We broke out. They did sell right into that. That breakout, it sold and it came all the way right back down to the bottom of the zone, 350.77, but it's held and we're getting a little bit of a bounce. So I would say if we hold above here, then probably going to go up and tag the top of this trend line all the way up here at 375. 375 to 400. I don't know when we'll get there, but let's just say we get there soon. It'll be about 375. If we don't and we break below this 350.77 area, then that's pretty bearish. That's a false breakout right here. And look for us to head all the way back to the bottom of the zone, probably breaking down to through the bottom of the zone. Usually when you have a breakout and it ends up being a false breakout and it breaks back into the zone, usually you're not going to head just right to the bottom of the zone. You're gonna break down below the zone. IWM still hanging out above this breakout area up here, just hanging out up there. So we'll see where that goes. As of right now, I don't have a clear read on it. We did break to all-time highs though, and we are back below those all-time highs. So I would say that's a key level. Mark it right there. And if we break back above all-time highs, bullish. Holding below and getting rejected from here, bearish. So that's what we'll watch for now. And really this level right there at 159.80 I think is probably, if we break back below 159.80, I think we're going a lot lower. Let's just put it that way. That's this big sideways trading zone right here that we have broken out above. So as of right now, bullish, although we couldn't hold the all-time highs. So break above all-time highs, bullish, break back below this 159, bearish. Everything in between here is going to just be probably a big mess. Bonds are selling off. They continue to sell off, so rates are rising as bonds sell off. Watch for that to put pressure on, bond proxies. So gold is one of them, and we'll look at that right here. Here's gold right now. We've broken below this trend line that I've marked out, coming off, way back here. Couple reactions. It's not the cleanest line, but really what I see as of right now, if you really just look, trying to get this chart clean. If you just look, we've got lower highs, lower lows, and that pattern's continued. So you can see as we've just continued to work, even this breakout right here was still a lower high. And we've made lower lows along the way. So now I think we make that lower low down to 1790, 1800. Major support right there. So I'll be looking to be a buyer in that area as long as the charts firm up. Dollar is breaking higher this morning, but dollar's just been in this big sideways range right here. So it's just something to keep an eye on. But as of right now, it's just in this big sideways range. Okay, let's look at a couple trade ideas, a couple positions that I have on. We'll start out TAN. I'm not in this position. I just continue to watch for a breakdown of this trend line. Here's your trend line right here. We've been walking up it. If you go to the daily, you can see we have big negative divergence right there. So looking for an impulsive breakdown of that trend line. It's not there yet, but that's a setup. Once it triggers, there should be a good trade for everyone who's watching. So keep an eye on that one. BABA took this short yesterday, and it's breaking down some more. You can see it's just kind of flagging right here. This flagging pattern, that tells me it's going to continue the breakdown heading down to 240.85. I would say that's probable. XOM oil holding support up here. So support's right around this 36.30. We're bouncing off of it, and we're still holding. So that looks bullish as of right now. And I am long this stock. Run, I'm short this stock. Again, this is what's expected now. Here's your daily chart right there. There's your uptrend. Nice clean bearish divergence on PPO and the RSI. Have a PPO bearish crossover right there. And we have trendline support was broken. So zooming in, there's your trendline support. Kickback rally, rolling over. Today was, they popped it on the open, but you can see they're just selling into that. So there's your open, selling into that. And here's your open, and it popped up, but they're selling into it now. And, we're getting a red candle follow-up. So to me, that's just a little bounce as we continue our way lower. Still short that one. GPS, this one is, we'll watch. There's a potential setup here. On the daily, you have bearish divergence, negative divergence right there. And you have this nice clean uptrend line. We have not broken trend line support, though. So there's no trade here, at least from my perspective. There's no short trade, but momentum is starting to fade. So it tells you that it's going to break this level. We're just waiting for it. On the hourly, though, it did burn through that negative divergence on the hourly. You can see right here we made a new high. So it might not be ready. I think there's better setups, but I've just been keeping an eye on it. Chewy broke above the downtrend line today, and it has recovered it. So maybe they're gonna hold this, and this was a false breakdown. Here's a trend line right here that I have marked out. We broke that trend line right there, and we got a little bounce today where they've popped it above that support. We'll see what the rest of the market does and what the rest of these stay-at-home stocks do. If they sell off, I suspect Chewy's going to sell off as well. But as of right now, above support. So we'll just continue to watch this one. I did cover most of my position yesterday, and I've got a quarter position on this one short. So taking on a little bit of losses right now. I'm just going to keep an eye on it and see what's going on. That's why, it's important as trades work in your favor to take profit so that when the trade goes against you, you don't have as large of a position. Okay, I like this one, short BBY. I took a position, full-size position, added a little bit more this morning. Here's what we got on this one. I think it's breaking down. Daily chart. So bearish divergence, big bearish divergence on the daily chart. You can see this has been building really for some time. And all this price action up here, divergent high. Then we're looking for a break of price support on the daily. So here's your price support that I have marked out at least. Looks pretty clean to me. Reaction. And this is the one that I adjusted down slightly. So I adjusted it down, and there's your another reaction. Big impulsive candle breaking price support right there. And you can see that they just, they're trying to keep it above, they're trying to recover support, but looks like it's selling off. And if I go down to the hourly, this was really my tell that it really looked like it was going to sell off. They recovered it this morning, holding above support, and it faded and closed that hourly candle back below resistance. So now we're getting a follow-through candle selling. So to me, this one looks good to the downside. It's most likely going to pick up steam today. And I don't know if it'll get down here, but 104.20 is my first target on this one. And then the next target I have is down at this big gap fill at about 91. See the gap right there? Big gap. So that is the trade. If that works out, that's a potential trade of about 20%, 19%. I like it. NVDA here looks like it's bear flagging right now, and it's right at the top of the flag range. So I was watching it this morning, and I marked out this trend line right here, and we're now starting to get some reaction. So the market's starting to plot that as its flag line. So I've got the flag that's really looks like this, and we can chop around in this range for a while, but that's a bear flag. And so you can see here's your flagpole, there's your flag right there, and you can basically wherever whenever we break out or break down, it's gonna, the measured target's gonna be something like that. So I suspect, if it breaks out soon, that's going to put our profit targets in play, which is 475.29 and 432.50. So that looks good. It's still flagging, so you need to see the breakdown, the continuation of the flag to the downside. But that's what it looks like it's going to do. So what I did, I took a short in this the other day when we were having everything sell off. And I just added to the short right here at the top of the flag, right here. I basically added right there, and I'm looking for this to continue to the downside. If it breaks higher, well, then we'll look at covering. But for right now, this looks good. And we'll wrap up with Redfin. You can see here, the daily chart here. Here's your support line right there. We broke, did a back test. Continuing to the downside, we're just getting a little bit of a bounce today, which makes sense because this thing got just pummeled. They sold into this thing from the rejection. It was down 22% in a matter of just a couple days. So to see a little bit of a bounce makes sense. But for me, I'm still looking for my profit targets at 35.31 and 31.38. So I think it might be around 32.90. We could mark that out as well. If you get in this area, I would be looking to take profit. Something like that. So we'll leave that up there as well. It's kind of a support zone, but if we start to get down in this area, that's the area I'm looking to take profit. And we'll go ahead and continue to watch that. One thing to take note of, though, which is interesting, we are potentially starting to build what looks like a bullish divergence right here in Redfin. It turned up, and it's starting to build a bullish divergence. So that might be enough for, and that's on the daily chart too. So we'll see what this turns out to be. I think maybe we get, a little bit move higher and then a move down, putting another bullish divergence in, and we hit our profit targets, we cover, and then this thing probably turns around and reverses. Okay, that's all I got for today. Those are the stocks I'm watching, keeping an eye on. Gold stocks, I'm starting to get interested in being long these things, but they're not there yet. Again, the gold miners, I'm waiting for gold to run down to that 1790. I'm looking for the gold stocks to have bullish divergences. None of that's there yet, but I think we'll start to see that stuff show up when gold makes that move down to 1790. So not obviously buying yet. I think there's more downside to come in these things, but I am going to be getting interested once we get down to 1790, 1800 on gold bullion. That's all I got, guys. Thank you. Leave me a thumbs up if you find value in the content. Again, everything in this video is just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, so seek that if you want financial advice. This is not financial advice. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.